if you could help us understand, I mean, I was just looking at a trend in the month of June, as well as if I have to look at the quarter as a whole, strong numbers that have been reported. What has led to this kind of a growth this time around?
Firstly, thank you for having me on the show. So again, a strong month, like you said, growth of about 18% and for the month, and for the quarter, again, 20% plus. In line with what we have put out as mid to high teens growth for SUV. Frankly, the strength of the portfolio is what is carrying us forward. We've had some successful launches over the last 12 months. We've had 2 ICE launches in 3XO and Tata Rocks, and then we have 2 very strong launches in the EV space as well. So it's the demand for these products and the consistent demand we have seen for the products we've launched before that, which is holding us in good stead.
Right. So now, you know, is it the SUV portion which is actually firing, and where is it coming from? Is it from rural India or urban India?
Yeah, so as you know, within the passenger vehicle industry, SUVs have consistently outperformed the rest of the industry. But having said that, I think M&M has actually done better even against the industry SUV growth numbers. So we're outpacing that as well. For us, the growth has come from both rural and urban. And if you look at last year, I think urban was probably a little bit stronger than rural. But what we've seen this year in Q1 is we have growth coming out of Bolero, we have growth coming out of infrastructure and other investments which the government is doing in the rural areas as well. So that's starting to pop up as well, in addition to the urban growth, which has been going on consistently for us over the last 6-7 quarters.
Right. So are you expecting this kind of a trend to continue where, you know, SUV sales will see higher growth even in the rural market?
Yeah, historically, we have seen over the last 3-4 years that the share of SUVs overall in the passenger industry has gone up. I mean, if you go back 5 years, it was about mid-30s in terms of SUV as overall percentage, but today it's in the 60s. So we believe that will continue to be the case. People are traveling longer, people are traveling on roads which can have varying quality, so they look for an SUV, and the safety that an SUV gives is also something which is a key buying factor.
Right. Overall, you know, how much of this contribution has come in from the ramp up of new models which have boosted sales, you know, versus the older ones?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, the 4 new models that we put out in the last 12 months, that's given us significant growth. But having said that, the core part of the business, which is Scorpio and 700 and Bolero, have been a strong backbone for us as well. So Scorpio continues to do 40,000-50,000 as a family. So that continues to be a bedrock for us. And on top of it, the growth is coming from the new models.
Okay. Now, when you talk about exports, we know it's still a small portion. How soon are you expecting that to ramp up? Because currently you just have 2 players in terms of peers who are capturing the export market to a large extent. There is expectation that M&M is going to follow suit as well on that front. So what's the trajectory looking like from an export perspective?
Yeah, it's a long-term game for us, international expansion. Even this quarter, we actually had very strong growth, 30% plus. But reality is it's a long game, and we will take it in a methodical way. We have aspirations outside even South Africa and Australia, where we are quite strong, and we want to go into the other markets as well. So you will see some of that plan unfold over the next 3-4 years. We probably will lead with EVs. The world-class EVs that we put out has seen strong interest, not just in India, but outside as well. So that's probably will be a core part of how we expand internationally.
Okay. And when you talk about the EV portion as well, what percentage of your portfolio in terms of PVs will be EVs from here on? Because to my knowledge, the capacity that you have is around 5,000 units per month. The last we spoke was around 3,500. Have we ramped up to 5,000 units per month in terms of production? And secondly, the contribution that it will have to the overall portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're right, operationalizing 5,000 is what we had said in Q1, so that we are there. But you got to remember that we just have put out only the top variant at this point in time. So we are in the 4,000 range in terms of production, but as the new variants come into play, in preparation for festive, we should come very close to the 5,000 number as well overall. In general, this year, our projection is that we'll probably have about 6 to 8% penetration of our market could be in that range of EVs of our overall portfolio. And that's what we are looking at, and we are on track for that kind of penetration.
Okay. And how big an impact is the rare earth magnets unavailability? Because there was a lot of hue and cry on that front. Has that anyway impacted the EV portfolio from a production perspective, or are you seeing any impact in the coming months when in terms of production?
Yeah, so as you know that China has put new export controls on rare earth minerals that needs NDU certification to ensure non-military. You see, the rare earth metals is not just for EVs; it actually goes into quite a bit of key automotive components. But if it has to come out as assembled parts, you just have to get NDU certification. And currently, we have inventory for the affected parts to meet our production needs. But we are also working actively with our supply chain to ensure that we are able to source the assembled parts. We're also exploring alternate materials, and we're working with SIAM and the Government of India to expedite this certification that we need. So we are working very closely with our suppliers to ensure that there is no disruption to production. Currently, we have inventory.
Okay. And taking into consideration inventory, I mean, Mahindra is not sitting on a lot of inventory, but what is the industry looking like? Are you seeing inventory which is piling up, or what are channel checks indicating?
Yeah, so June, as you know, is generally a shoulder month for us and for the industry. And July onwards, we start to see stocking up happening. So from the numbers I've seen, it's a little bit on the higher side for the industry, but nothing I'll be very concerned about. This is traditionally a lean month for us and for the industry. So nothing of concern per se, but we obviously need to see some customer traction coming in as an industry in July and August going forward.
Okay. July and August is going to be interesting as well, because 15th August is when you do unveil your new platform. We spoke about it last time as well, and we're talking about Vision.T, and that's the concept that you've teased so far. Anything that you would want to add on it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're excited with it. It's a new freedom event. We will reveal a new platform which will anchor our new vision SUVs. We are excited to share our vision and hope the customers will respond to the same excitement as they've done over the last 5 years.
Right. And very lastly, Nal, the kind of growth that you've seen in the first quarter, 22% kind of a jump in terms of volumes. Are you expecting that trend to continue in terms of FY26 as a whole? Or you think there could be some dips and it would probably normalize in that 15 to 20% kind of a range?
It's very hard to do crystal ball gazing so early in the year, but our projection is that we'll do mid to high teens, and right now we're on track to deliver mid to high teens growth.